Hello, and welcome to Lady Erski's Fine Dining 101. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to visit some fine restaurant? Well, it happens more than once in our lives, whether it's attending a banquet, a retirement party, a professional organization. At some point in your life, you will be invited to attend some fine dining event. Now, immediately upon entering that fine dining event, you are already intimidated by all of these utensils, all of this dinnerware, all of this stemware that's placed before you. But you need not fear. I am here to help you. Let's begin first and foremost to the right. All of this glassware. Well, of course, your first thought is you only need one glass to drink out of. However, with fine dining, you have 3 glasses because you have different beverages. You have your water, and then there will be wine served later on in your meal. Well, I start to go towards the glasses, but the first thing is first, and that is this wonderful napkin here. Whenever you enter a fine restaurant, you have a tablecloth and you have a napkin. You become the ninja napkin warrior. You need to remove that napkin from the table with one smooth move, place it in your lap, and while it's in your lap, you're going to actually unfold the napkin. You don't need a lot of motion, but it does need to happen. So you're going to leave it halfway fold, and then on your lap, you're actually going to pull it up just a fourth so that you're only using the portion that you need. Now, of course, you didn't see all of that taking place, so we'll come back a little bit later for a demonstration. Ladies, for you, before you even touch the stemware, the first thing you want to do is to take that napkin and blot your lips. That's blot, not white. Gentlemen, you too will use your napkin, but hopefully not for blotting, just for patting in between. We're going to the stemware. You notice that your glasses are actually in a triangle shape. The one closest to you is the one that you'll be using. With every rule, which of course is applicable to your stemware, the idea is that you lift the stemware from the stand. So I'm going to reach over. The biggest goblet close to me, I'm going to grab it by the stem. Now we call this the stem, and this is the bulb. The stem, the bulb, and the base. It's almost like these flowers that are here. This is your bulb, and this is your stem. If you were going to pick up the flower, you would pick it up from the stem and not from the bulb. So the beauty is in the bulb. Now, of course, when you lift your stemware, you want to lift your stemware here, and you want to balance it. Then you want to bring it to your lips, and of course, you want to drink. Then you want to take that stemware, and you want to place it down. Now, there are various ways that you can hold your stemware, and of course, someone will argue, well, what's the best way? The best way is the way that fits for you. So I'm going to lift this stemware. This is your demonstration. You can pinch it here with your thumb, your forefinger, and your middle finger. Then take the other two and you balance that. That's the base. And believe it or not, that's all the power you need in order to lift this glass, even when it has water in it. Now, since the water goblet is your largest glass, what you can actually do is that you can help support it just at the bottom of the bowl. And that's enough for you to lift this glass and then place it down. As it becomes closer to having wine with your meal, one of the things that you would do is to actually push your glass goblet away from you in order to prepare for your next serving, which would be your red wine. You'll notice with your red wine glass, let me ease it over here, it's just a little bit smaller than your glass for your water, but it's a little bit bigger than the glass you use for your white wine. You want to use the same technique. You can pinch it here. I didn't show you that one. You can pinch it here and just have your fingers here Some people actually hold it like this, the thumb, and then using the other fingers to hold it as a base and actually drink this way, probably men. And then you drink up. Then you place it back wherever it belongs. And then you move to the white wine, which is usually served as a dessert with dessert. Same process, stemware. You want to hold it here to ensure that your base is balanced, and that's enough pressure. Then take it and place it back. Welcome to Etiquette and Fine Dining 101. As you see, we have the table prepared for you. This is your spot, and welcome. At any given time, you will have an invitation to attend an event requiring the use of fine dining skills. Where we'll begin is with your napkin. First thing first. You have to be a ninja warrior when you use this napkin. You want to remove it from the table in one smooth move, and then once you have it on your lap, this is where the action is actually taking place. You're sitting there, you're unfolding this napkin. You have half of it laid across your leg, and then the other half is what you'll use throughout the meal. Now, ladies, immediately you start to use your napkin because the first thing that you need to do is to blot your lipstick. So you want to take your napkin and you want to blot. Whenever you're passing the salt and pepper, always pass the pear. Salt and pepper go together. And I'll share another passing rule. Whenever you're passing food, you always pass to the left and offer it to the person on the left of you. Then you serve yourself in the middle, and then you offer to the right and pass it over. Remember, salt and pepper together, it's a pear. We're going to the stemware. You notice that your glasses are actually in a triangle shape. The one closest to you is the one that you'll be using. With every rule, which of course is applicable to your stemware, the idea is that you lift the stemware from the stem. So I'm going to reach over. The biggest goblet close to me, I'm going to grab it by the stem. Now we call this the stem, and this is the bulb. The stem, the bulb, and the base. It's almost like these flowers that are here. This is your bulb, and this is your stem. If you were going to pick up the flower, you would pick it up from the stem and not from the bulb. So the beauty is in the bulb. Now, of course, when you lift your stemware, you want to lift your stemware here, and you want to balance it. Then you want to bring it to your lips, and of course, you want to drink. Then you want to take that stemware, and you want to place it down. Now, there are various ways that you can hold your stemware, and of course, someone will argue, well, what's the best way? The best way is the way that fits for you. So I'm going to lift this stemware. This is your demonstration. You can pinch it here with your thumb, your forefinger, and your middle finger. Then take the other two and you balance that. That's the base. And believe it or not, that's all the power you need in order to lift this glass, even when it has water in it. Now, since the water goblet is your largest glass, what you can actually do is that you can help support it just at the bottom of the bowl. And that's enough for you to lift this glass and then place it down. As it becomes closer to having wine with your meal, one of the things that you would do is to actually push your glass goblet away from you in order to prepare for your next serving, which would be your red wine. You'll notice with your red wine glass, let me ease it over here, it's just a little bit smaller than your glass for your water, but it's a little bit bigger than the glass you use for your white wine. You want to use the same technique. You can pinch it here. I didn't show you that one. You can pinch it here and just have your fingers here. Some people actually hold it like this, the thumb, and then using the other fingers to hold it as a base and actually drink this way, probably men. And then you drink up. Then you place it back wherever it belongs. And then you move to the white wine, which is usually served as a dessert with dessert. Same process, stemware. You want to hold it here to ensure that your base is balanced, and that's enough pressure. Then take it and place it back. Remember BMW, the bread is to the left. So the first thing that comes out is generally your bread. When someone offers you bread, you take your bread, it's placed here. This is your bread plate. To your left, BMW. You have your bread plate, you have a butter knife. And what you actually have is a pat of butter. And generally when you're eating your bread, you break the piece that you're eating, you butter your bread, and you eat that piece of bread, not the full bread. Then place your knife down with the teeth facing forward. Because in some cultures, the reason you have the teeth facing you is that it's really considered offensive if you have the teeth facing someone else. It's almost as if you are asking for a fight, and we don't want to do that. Top 10 table manners. Always eat from the outside in. Outside in. Alternating. Either you're going to start to the right or you're going to start to the left. It depends on whether soup or salad is served first. So whichever dish is served first, that's the dish that will dictate which utensil you begin your meal. So in this case, we're going to start with soup. So we're going to start here on the right. We're going to pick up our soup spoon. So as you are having soup, you take your soup spoon, you dip your soup spoon into your dish, you come up from the back and you brush, lift, and eat from the side. You take it down, you dip, you brush it against the back, you lift it up, you lean, and you have soup without slurping. When you're done with your soup, there's actually a service plate. You take your spoon, you lie it on your plate, and then the server, because they're servers in fine dining, will come by and take your soup bowl and service plate away. He will lift it and remove it. First fork on the outside is your salad fork. It doesn't matter who placed it there, always eat from the outside in. Grab your salad fork, you'll also grab a knife. There are two styles of eating, American style and continental. Generally, we like to use the American style. The American style actually requires that you lift your fork with your left hand, you lift your knife with your right hand. You use your fork to hold down the food, tines, which are your teeth of the fork, hold your food, cut your food. Cut your lettuce, your tomato, only the piece that you're about to place in your mouth. Once you have it properly cut, then you actually take your utensils and rotate from left to right unless you're left-handed. As soon as you switch over, you take your fork and you begin eating. If you no longer need your fork, your knife in American style eating, what you actually do is to take that knife and you lie it down to the side. You can continue eating your meal American style by merely using your fork. And make certain that as you dip and enter your mouth, once food is in your mouth, the rule is chew with your mouth closed. And then you can proceed to eat more or to have conversation, but never with food in your mouth. You finish your salad, you take your fork and you lie your fork and your knife to the 4 o'clock position. That is signaling to the server that you're complete, and someone will come by and take away that particular dish. Okay, next we have our main course, the entree. And all we're doing is lifting up the next fork that's on the outside, and we're coming in. Now, we just talked about 2 types of eating, fine dining eating styles. That's the American and the continental. So we're going to do the same thing with the continental. We're going to lift our fork in our left hand and lift our knife in our right hand. Now the difference between American and continental is that with continental, you keep your utensils in your hand until you're done with your meal, unless you pause for a break. When you pause for a break, while eating continental style, you actually will lie your knife down and take your fork and cross it over with the tines down. There's actually an X in your plate. So when you're done, if you're just gonna have some water, maybe you wanna reach over and have a sip of water. Reach over and drink. Then place your goblet down. Or perhaps you're just having conversation. Then continue your conversation. And at some point in your meal, you may actually want to get up or need to get up and excuse yourself. And once you get up to excuse yourself, then you would actually remove your napkin from your lap, take your napkin and place it in your seat. Or you may place it on the back of your chair, depending on how much space there is in the restaurant. Upon your return, replace your napkin in your lap, as it was originally, and then continue eating. Lift your fork, your knife, continental style. And the way you can remember continental style is because the continent is so large, you're just gonna eat all around the plate, okay? You just wanna eat up using your utensils unless you stop and rest. And so what you're actually doing in the continental style type eating is that you are taking your fork and you are cutting whatever it is that you're eating, and you are lifting. If you're left-handed, you keep your fork in your left hand. You're just lifting and eating. If you're right-handed, you're doing the same style as in the American style. You're switching your knife and fork from left to right hand, and you are eating here. You're eating here, or you just eat and cut, keeping your tines down until you're done. Once you've completed your meal during a continental style type eating, you take your fork, tines down, you take your knife, teeth in, and again, you are communicating with the server that you have completed that particular course, and he or she may come and take your plate away. It's dessert time. As I stated earlier, you had your dinner plate here, and your dessert plate is right in front of you. So we want to reach, here's dessert, place that in front of you. You'll notice that you have a fork and a knife. Depending on what you serve will be the utensil that you decide to use. Well, we're going to pretend as if we're having cake. And for cake, you need a fork. And for cobbler, you need a fork, unless you have ice cream. So you want to take your fork, you want to take one bite of cake that's going in your mouth, you want to lift it, and you want to eat it. And remember, chew with your mouth closed. That's the demonstration. Now, suppose we had ice cream. Then of course you eat ice cream with a spoon. A creme brulee, you eat that with a spoon. So you want to dig into it, you just want to eat. The main thing, again, chew with your mouth closed. Use your napkin. Use your napkin as frequently as possible. What a wonderful meal. And it's over. I'm patting my mouth. And as a ninja with a napkin, I'm done. I'm going to take this napkin, place it to the left of my plate. I'm going to wait for the gentleman that I'm with to assist me out of this seat. And then we're out. I hope this has been an edutainment moment for you, and that you will find Fine Dining 101 helpful in your life moving forward. Be empowered.